telecommunications infrastructure. This weapon is similar to what Russia or Russian allied hackers used to disrupt Ukraine's electrical grid in 2015. Can you discuss a little bit in open session how serious that is?
I don't believe I can discuss the technological issues, just to say that it is very disturbing that the Russians continue to push hostile actions in their foreign policy, and it is not good for the United States or the world or Russia, in my opinion.
Do you believe we have a strategy in order to counter these ever-increasing threats to our national security and our way of life?
Not sufficient. We do not have a sufficient strategy dealing with technological and IT penetrations of our system. I truly believe it's more important than I ever did before, and I appreciate your concern and leadership on that issue. And in fact, all of Congress is going to have to do better.
Senator's time's expired. Chair would recognize the Vice Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and General Sessions, thank you. I particularly appreciate your last comments with Senator McCain about the seriousness of this threat, and it's why so many of us on this committee are concerned when the whole question of Russian intervention, the President continues to refer to it as a witch hunt and fake news, and there doesn't seem to be a recognition of the seriousness of this threat. I share, I think most members do, the consensus that the Russians massively interfered. They want to continue to interfere, not to favor one party or another, but to favor their own interest. And it is of enormous concern that we have to hear from the administration how they're going to take that on. I also believe comments have been made here about where we head in terms of some of the Trump associates who may have had contacts with Russians. Candidly, we've not gotten to all of that yet because of the unprecedented firing of the FBI director that was leading this very same Russia investigation that superseded some of our activities. So those members who I hope will equally pursue the very troubling amount of smoke, at least, that's out there between individuals that were affiliated with the Trump campaign, possible ties with Russians. I've not reached any conclusion, but we've got to pursue that. Final comment, I understand your point, but you have to, there were a series of comments made by Mr. Comey last week. I think members on this side of the aisle have indicated understand executive privilege, understand classified setting. I do think we need, as Senator Reid indicated and Senator Harris and others, if there are these long-standing written procedures about this ability to have some other category to protect the conversations with the President, we'd like to get a look at them, because we need to find out, in light of some of the contradictions between today and last week, where this all heads. At the end of the day, this is not only, let me restate what I said the last time, this is not about relitigating 2016. It is about finding out what happened, about some of the serious allegations about potential ties, but on a going forward basis, making sure that the Russians who are not finished in terms of their activities didn't end in the election day of 2016. We know that is ongoing, and we have to be better prepared on a going forward basis. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Vice Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, one brief comment, if you mind. I do want to say that there are chains at the top of the FBI should have no impact whatsoever on the investigation. Those teams have been working, and they'll continue to work, and they've not been altered in any way.
But there were a number of very strange comments that Mr. Comey testified last week that you could have, I believe, shed some light on. But we'll continue. Thank you, sir.
General Sessions, thank you again for your willingness to be here. Not sure that you knew it, but your replacement sat through most of this hearing, Luther Strange. He's made us regret that we don't have intramural basketball teams in 6'9".
Big Luther is a good round ball player at Tulane.
You've been asked a wide range of questions, and I think you've answered things related to claims about the meeting at the Mayflower. You've answered questions that surround the reasons of your recusal and the fact that you had never been briefed since day one on the investigation, that you made clear that you can't think of any other conversations that you've had with Russian officials. You've covered in detail the conversation that you had, though brief, with Director Comey that he referenced to after his private meeting with the president, just to name a few things that I think you've helped us to clear up. There were several questions that you chose not to answer because of confidentiality with the president. I would only ask you now to go back and work with the White House to see if there are any areas of questions that they feel comfortable with you answering, and if they do, that you provide those answers in writing to the committee. I would also be remiss if I didn't remind you that those documents that you can provide for the committee, they would be helpful to us for the purposes of sorting timelines out. Anything that substantiates your testimony today, individuals who might have been at events that you're familiar with, especially those that worked for you, would be extremely helpful. And more importantly, I want to thank you for your agreement to have a continuing dialogue with us as we might need to ask some additional questions as we go a little further down the investigation. That certainly does not have to be a public hearing, but it may be an exchange and a dialogue that we have. You have helped us tremendously, and we're grateful to you and to Mary for the unbelievable sacrifice that you made in this institution, but also now in this administration. This hearing is now adjourned.
Thank you.
All right, good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Maroney.
And I'm Sharon Chaswell. We just watched as Attorney General Jeff Sessions answered questions about the Senate committee investigation and possible Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. Scott Pelley will have much more coverage coming up at 6:30.
North Carolina News forecast first.
And on this Tuesday afternoon, the heat and humidity have stuck around with temperatures close to 90. Good evening. I'm Wes Hohenstein. But one new thing on the radar tonight, and that is rain. Strong storms back to our west in the Triad. And while we are all dry here, showers and storms continue to our west. But if you watch them with me, they're not really in a hurry to go anywhere. They've been hanging out over there for the last few hours. They might creep into western parts of our viewing area, but they also will start to dissipate in the next few hours as our temperatures cool off. And they will cool off some. It's not going to feel a whole lot better. In the next couple of hours, we'll keep small rain chances out to the west. Temperatures dropping through the 80s. Dry later tonight as we head for the upper 70s. And it's still going to get hotter later this week. We'll talk about that and more rain chances coming up in your forecast. But North Carolina News at 5 starts right now.
Now at 5, a teacher tries to hide from our cameras on her way to court.
And a new warning about a dangerous flu going around North Carolina.
And the last day at a school in Durham that's forced to shut down for at least 3 years. The former math teacher accused of having sexual conduct with 3 of her male students went before a judge today. Our Lauren Havlin was in the Nash County to find out if the teacher had anything to say.
I tried to speak with Erin McAuliffe after court this morning. All she had to say was no comment, but what she did is easier to show you. The 25-year-old who is accused of having sexual contact with 3 of her students at Rocky Mount Preparatory School wore sunglasses and held a notebook in front of her face as she walked out of the courtroom. Once outside, McAuliffe quickly got into a vehicle and took off. McAuliffe is charged with 4 felonies and is no longer employed at the school. Police say the incident with 2 17-year-old students and a 16-year-old student occurred off campus. McAuliffe remains out on bond right now, and she will be back in court on June 29th. In Nashville, Lauren Havlin, CBS, North Carolina.
Lauren, thank you. And this case is getting a lot of attention. Maxim magazine picked up our story online, but a warning that version is not work or family safe.
State senators are discussing a possible new strategy to make school zones safer. A bill wants to put a camera inside of a car, which would sit and track how fast other vehicles are going inside the zone. Supporters say it will slow down drivers, which will save lives. If passed, the pilot program will start in Durham. However, it could take a year to get the program up and running. A South Carolina couple is dead and their son seriously hurt after a crash on Interstate 85 near Fairplay. The family was on the way to Mount Airy on vacation. The Highway Patrol says the family's SUV was headed north when it rear-ended a tractor trailer.
New at 5, 2 prison guards are dead and 2 inmates on the loose after a daring escape in Georgia. According to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, the inmates were on work detail when they somehow overpowered the guards on the bus going back to the prison. Now police are looking for the men in a green Honda Civic.
We need somebody to find this car, find these individuals. They're armed, they're dangerous. Call 911 if you see it immediately.
Obviously, don't approach them.
Obviously not. Don't approach them. We have no idea where they are at this point.
Both men are serving time for armed robbery and aggravated assault. And new information in a story we first told you about last week. 2 dogs in North Carolina died from a dangerous dog flu. Now Orange County Animal Services is warning dog owners about the flu, saying dogs are getting sick in other counties, including Wake. Now there is a vaccine and booster for the dog flu, and most veterinarians are offering it to their clients. Driving delays in Cary are far from finished at one of the area's major intersections, but the town is trying to tackle the traffic concerns and help you navigate detours. CBS North Carolina's Robert Richardson is live in Cary, where there's an intersection improvement open house tonight. Robert.
Sharon, you can see there's already a couple dozen people here as the town of Cary works to clear up consistent congestion and question about it at the intersection of High House Road and the Cary Parkway. They've got a bunch of maps here tonight showing the plans that the town's been working on for nearly a decade to address driving difficulties, and there's going to be some more created as with additional delays during construction. Some of the suggested alternate routes include going around the Country Club and Bond Metro Park. Now, this area has seen a lot more cars in recent areas, and it's still growing. Plans now call for adding left turn lanes in 3 directions, along with widening the roads for right turn only lanes. Engineers say a big concern is also involving taking out some trees along the route. They say the town's going to preserve as many as possible, replace those taken out. Sidewalks also going to be shifted. Now, the open house information session is happening right around from the corner from the intersection here at the Senior Center at Bond Metro Park. It started a few minutes ago. I talked with one of the town planning managers, and he says that this work's supposed to start in the fall and then hopefully be done by the spring. And coming up at 6, you'll hear from him about some of the steps the city's going to take to try and pose as few problems as possible during construction. Reporting live in Cary, Robert Richardson, CBS North Carolina.
Robert, thank you. 8th through 11th graders at a Durham charter school will not return to those halls after today. Kestrel Heights School will not have a high school program for at least the next 3 years. The State Board of Education shut down the higher grades after current administrators found about 160 alumni received diplomas without fulfilling requirements. 8th graders had a ceremony for graduation this morning. They and older classmates will move to other schools.
It's bittersweet, saying goodbye to those 8th graders who many of them wanted to remain here at Kestrel and continue their education. But our goal right now is focused on making sure that they have a quality education moving forward.
Some students told us they're sad they had to say goodbye to friends and go to different schools. Kestrel Heights held its final high school graduation Friday. It can reapply for a high school program in 3 years.
This is a place where people come to have a good time.
New at 5:30, reaction after Goldsboro teen dies after getting caught in a dangerous rip current.
Driving by day is okay. Driving by night could be a fright if you have the wrong kind of SUV headlight. I'm Steve Sprazier. Coming up, we'll tell you which SUVs flunked the brightness test.
Brought to you by the Clayton Center. Visit theclaytoncenter.com.
The verdict is in. I believe you. TV's #1 news show is a bullseye.
Hit that. Magic.
Bull. CBS Tuesday, 9/8 Central.
Can't get enough NCIS? Meet the real agents.
Homicide is the ultimate crime.
And the cases they can't forget.
They shot my dad. He was the greatest dad in the world.
I learned about Dave's undercover work.
I've been around some really bad people. Worst case scenario, get killed.
Tonight.
Hamrick's Moonlight Madness sale with special hours till 10 p.m. Men's Carhartt tees, only $12.49. Men's polos, $16.49. 30-ounce stainless steel tumblers, just $6.49. Hamrick's Moonlight Madness sale.
There's nothing better than catching some me time in my Civic. I love to turn my music all the way up and feel the wind in my hair. Plus, it's a Honda, so you know it's safe. I'm good to go.
Visit your Honda dealer of the Carolinas today.
Just like we practiced.
Okay, we can get started.
Thanks. That was fun.
Nicely done.
During the Start Your Own Legacy Spring event, lease the Infiniti Q50 2-liter turbo for $329 a month, plus spring bonus at your local Infiniti retailer.
Now through Tuesday only, don't miss the Rooms to Go store-wide sofa sale. An amazing chance to save on every sofa at Rooms to Go. They're all on sale, without exception. Get incredible savings on a great selection of fabric sofas, sleeper sofas, reclining sofas, leather sofas, and sectionals. Every sofa you see has been reduced. Remember, opportunities like this don't happen every day. So shop the Rooms to Go store-wide sofa sale. Now through Tuesday, every sofa is on sale.
Oh, snap. Every truck guy has their own way of conveying powerful.
Yeah, boy. Kind of looks like a monster coming to eat you. Holy smokes.
That is awesome. Strong.
You got the basic and you got the beefy.
I just think it looks mean.
Incredible.
No way. I'm getting goosebumps.
Get 17% below MSRP on all Silverado 1500 LT pickups in stock. That's over $8,100 on this Chevy Silverado. See your Central Carolina Chevy dealer.
Hamrick's Moonlight Madness sale with special hours till 10 p.m. Men's chaps and Izod wovens, $19.49. Copper fit items, only $5.49. And oversized novelty pool floats, just $16.49. Hamrick's Moonlight Madness sale.
We have disturbing news about headlight scores on SUVs.
Test by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says most mid-size SUVs don't have effective headlights. Our Steve Sprasia shows us why.
So you got yourself a brand new SUV and you figure, hey, my headlights are going to be great at night. Well, that might not necessarily be the case.
This is a comparison between the distance illuminated by a Volvo XC60 and a Kia Sorento. The driver of the Sorento can't see a person on a roadway just 100 feet away, nor a pair of deer 200 feet away, compared to the visibility of the headlights of the Volvo in tests made by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety.
Too many headlights compromise safety because they only allow a short view down the road at night.
The Insurance Institute tested headlights on 37 midsize SUVs, finding only 2 offering headlights they would rate as good.
We launched our headlight ratings because government standards are based on laboratory tests. These allow a huge range of illumination in actual on-road driving.
An important factor in making headlights effective is to make sure they're properly aimed.
Occasionally we'll have somebody that's complaining about questioning the alignment of the headlight. Because so many lights like this now come from the factory pre-aimed, Stan says there's very little a mechanic can do. Unfortunately, on new cars today, you're limited as to what you can do as far as adjustments compared to older cars.
For older vehicles, the illumination fix is easier. These fog headlight lenses can be mechanically cleaned.
It basically sands off the hazy part of the plastic that's causing the hazy look.
Automakers are now working on new technology like lights which swivel around corners and lights which dim automatically when they sense an oncoming vehicle. But it's going to take time to fix distance performance. I've included a full list of the headlight ratings in a link in today's web story.
Experts say if you're driving one of those SUVs that rated poorly, their best recommendation, drive with your high beams on as much as possible. I'm Steve Sprasia, CBS, North Carolina.
All right, Steve, out there sweating it out with the rest of us today, as most of us were right around 90. The new thing today, rain close to our area. We've been dry for a few days, but showers and storms to the west of our viewing area, back toward the Triad. You can see, I know it's hard to see with all the lightning, but that's Greensboro. Line of showers and storms, and at first glance, you might worry about this, but it's moving very slow. I'm not sure that it's actually going to make it here before it dissipates. It's only moving about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So if we put a track on it and assume it's going to stay at 15 miles per hour, it might not make it to Roxboro until 6:30 to Chatham County until after 7 o'clock. And again, once we lose the daytime heating in the next few hours, a lot of these storms will start to weaken. Otherwise, it's just hot and dry. Wouldn't want to be caught in what's going on in Greensboro as we go to our WeatherBug camera there in the Triad. I mean, look at the traffic, look at the visibility. It's horrible, but 67 degrees. Now, it's not a cool, refreshing 67, but it's a little different than the 88 we have back here at home. This is North Raleigh. There's 440 east and westbound in our backyard here at the station. And again, it was the heat that was the big story today, and it's going to stay muggy into tonight. We will put a small chance of rain as a couple of those storms will make it into western parts of our viewing area over the next couple of hours. But then after 9 and 10 o'clock, even those will dissipate. We'll be dry the rest of the overnight, but not dry and cool as we head toward morning. Your Wednesday morning will start off around 70 degrees. And again, the reason why we're complaining about today and the reason why it's not going to get that cool overnight is because that dew point temperature is sky high, and it got even higher today. It snuck into the low 70s up there in the steamy range. And again, the higher that number is, the higher our humidity is. And even though there's a cold front on the weather map, it is not going to make it in here. In fact, as we head toward the second half of this week, the front that is parked up to our north will get closer, but it's not going to move through. So we're never going to really cool off and get more comfortable. But as it does get closer, we have our best chance of rain coming Thursday and Friday. And then again, it's just going to tease us because it's going to head back to the north this weekend. It'll be a little bit drier, not completely, but only 20 and 30% chances of rain as highs pretty much stay close to 90 degrees. Now, with the forecast tomorrow, not only are we going to stay hot and humid, but we'll have a slightly higher rain chance, and most of our state is in a marginal risk of severe weather. And like the storms in the Triad now that are producing damaging wind, that's what we could see. Remember, marginal risk on our 1 to 5 scale is a 1, so it's our lowest threat level, but it's a threat nonetheless, and we'll have to keep an eye on that for tomorrow, afternoon, and evening. And we'll keep an eye on the thermometer as temperatures will get into the low 90s. Remember, Triangle has only made 90 3 times. Fayetteville has done it today and 21 other times, so a total of 22. So a touch hotter tomorrow and a slightly better chance of showers and storms. And from that 92 tomorrow, we'll back it off a bit Thursday and Friday with the higher rain chances, upper 80s, but still very muggy. We'll stay in the upper 80s to right around 90 for Father's Day weekend, again with a slightly smaller chance of rain. And then essentially we stay around 90 next Monday and Tuesday. So I guess to summarize, it's going to stay hot and humid for the remainder of the 7-day forecast. Again, our best rain chances, we're talking late afternoon and evening chances Thursday and Friday.
Okay, good to know. And The Young and the Restless that was set to air this afternoon is going to air at 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. Before we go to break, here's a live look from our traffic cam at I-40 and Harrison Avenue. As you can see, it is pretty busy out there today. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
See the King 79 Chevy. Experience extreme 33-degree banking. Race in our realistic racing simulators. Need we say more? Visit the NASCAR Hall of Fame this weekend. This is our sport. This is our house.
And now during the Kia Summers on Us sales event, you won't have to make any payments for 5 months.
Like the sound of that.
Yeah, we just think everyone should get more out of their summer.
More summer, huh?
And you get 0% APR for up to 66 months!
Get 5 months of freedom from payments at the Kia Summers on Us sales event. 0 payments for 5 months, 0% APR on select Kias. Sale ends soon, so hurry in this weekend.
Did I mention you get 5 months no payments?
At Beaches, everything's included. For everyone.
I never overthink it, do what I want, my generation. That's right, my generation. Yeah, we're all about a good time. Yeah, we're all about a good life. You won't believe it till you see. This is gonna be a fun ride. Yeah, we're all about a good time. Yeah, we're all about a good life. Good energy, come follow me. Oh, it's gonna be a good night.
Beaches All-Inclusive Resorts. Call 1-800-BEACHES.
How do you want to live? As a decent person? Good husband? Is that it? Good? Of course not. King of the Hill? Better. Top of your game? Win. All powerful. Like a boss. Like a pro. We couldn't agree more. We are professional grade. Step up to GMC and get nearly $9,200 total value on select specially equipped Sierra Crew Cab SLT vehicles in stock.
See your Carolina Buick GMC dealer.
Workers' compensation attorney Ben Cochran.
If you've been injured at work, I know you're going through a hard time. While dealing with your injury, you're having to answer hard questions concerning the next days, weeks, and months. Will my family be financially safe? Will I lose my job? Are my rights being protected? Be motivated to get the answers immediately. For the answers to these questions and more, give us a call today.
Hardison and Cochran, 919 all fours.
Oh boy. This gonna be good.
Did this just stop on its own?
Yeah.
Is that a touchscreen? Does it have Bluetooth?
All came standard.
Came standard? Wow, that's unbelievable. This guy.
He's giving it to him.
You won't believe what standard can do. Lease a new 2017 Toyota Corolla LE for $169 a month for 36 months. Toyota, let's go places.
The King, the Intimidator, Awesome Bill. Are we talking about a superhero convention or the NASCAR Hall of Fame? Visit the NASCAR Hall of Fame this weekend. This is our sport. This is our house.
New at 5:30, inmates picking up trash along the side of the road could soon be a thing of the past in North Carolina. What the state says is actually cheaper to pay crews than to rely on prison labor.
So I can remember going out to the scene that night and seeing him laying there on the ground. I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Nearly 4 years later, and the murder of a Hope County teen still haunts not just his family, but the men and women investigating his death. We asked the sheriff's office what led them to put new focus on the case.
Celebrate Dad this Father's Day. Save big on something special from Ross. From gifts that fit his style to gifts that bring a smile. Happy Father's Day begins at Ross.
You gotta go to Ross.
For the best selection of summertime vehicles, there's only one place to go. Freema Volkswagen in Goldsboro.
If you're looking to trade for something new, you gotta come see us at Freema Volkswagen.
We've got the summer's hottest lineup of cars and SUVs, and now's the time for you to upgrade with the new Volkswagen.
Ask about our lifetime powertrain warranty and discounts for the military.
Freema Volkswagen, just off Highway 70 bypass in Goldsboro.
And check us out online at freemamotors.com, where Volkswagens cost less.
Hi folks, it's Leland Fuller, General Manager here at Fayetteville Kia.
Buy a Kia, get a Harley has been extended through June. It's your last chance to buy a Kia and get a Harley.
We have Souls for just $79 a month. But if Soul's not your forte, we have those too for just $79 a month. So come see us on the big corner of Skybo and Cliffdale here at Fayetteville Kia.
Where are Mom and Dad?
Save money on motorcycle insurance with GEICO going up the country. Love, Mom and Dad.
I'm taking a nap.
Dude, you just woke up.
GEICO Motorcycle. Great rates for great rides.
It's easy to see why Nissan is America's fastest growing auto brand. Introducing the new Midnight Edition with aggressive black-out alloy wheels, spoilers, outside mirrors, and more. Take on the mainstream in Nissan's Midnight Edition. 6 models, 4 colors. Get to Nissan for America's best sales event. For a limited time, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models.
Make Ross your destination for savings. If you're looking for an incredible selection of the brands you love, this season's newest trends, for a fraction of what you'd pay at department stores.
You gotta go to Ross.
North Carolina News at 5:30 starts now.
It's been nearly 4 years since DeAndre Ricketts was shot and killed at a birthday party in Rayford.
To this day, no one has been arrested in the 16-year-old's murder, but deputies, they may finally have a new avenue to go down.
For that story, we turn to our Nate Rogers at the Hope County Sheriff's Office. Nate.
Sean Sharon, this was a massive party before the shooting occurred. More than 100 teenagers attended. The sheriff deputies say they now need the public's help to confirm some information that they already know about this case.
When I first opened up my phone, he's my screensaver. Remind me.
This is the smile that loved ones will never, ever get to see in person again. 16-year-old DeAndre Ricketts was shot while attending a party on Bethel Road, October 13, 2013. The sheriff says bullets were fired from at least 5 different guns. Ricketts, who was unarmed, died at the scene.
I can remember going out to the scene that night and seeing him laying there on the ground. I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Loved ones called him Papa. Prior to his death, the high school junior had a bright future ahead. He's described as funny, driven, and athletic.
Football, church. He was very active in our church. Lovable kid, didn't meet strangers.
Sheriff Peterkin says they're unsure if Ricketts was the target. The motive unknown. Peterkin says they've interviewed at least 40 people about the case, but he believes the street code of silence has kept the killer hidden.
I know that there's a young person that was at that party who saw it. They may have said it to their mother. They may have said it to an uncle or father.
$20,000 is the reward for information that leads to an arrest. Murchison simply wants closure. She directs these words to anyone choosing to remain silent.
Put yourself in my shoes. If it was your child, would you want someone to walk around every day knowing that they killed your child and not come forward?
Sheriff Peterkin says even if you've called before with any information or a simple detail, please call again. That number for the sheriff's office should be on your screen right now. It's 910-624-5562. John Kivett with the Hope County Sheriff's Office is the lead detective. In Hope County, I'm Nate Rogers, CBS North Carolina.
Nate, thank you. The body of a Goldsboro teen who went missing off the North Carolina coast has been recovered. 17-year-old Elijah Hinnant was one of 3 boys to get caught in a rip current over the weekend. One of those boys made it to shore. Another is in critical condition tonight. Hinnant never made it back.
You know, this is a place where people come to have a good time, to get away from their everyday lives and relax and have fun. It's just especially sad in the circumstances anytime this happens, particularly in this case.
This is important. If you get caught in a rip current, do not fight it, but instead swim parallel to the shore.
Governor Roy Cooper spent the day visiting educators and those impacted by Hurricane Matthew in the eastern part of the state. His first stop this morning was in New Bern, where he addressed hundreds of educators celebrating the end of the school year. Some of the teachers were awarded grants to help pay for projects and programs in Craven County. Educators say they are grateful to have the support of the governor and local businesses.
Governor Cooper ran on an education platform, so when he won, I thought this would be the perfect venue for him to speak directly to our teachers. And as you can see, it's a sold-out event with 800 teachers, staff members, and community leaders who are here to hear what he has to say.
Governor Cooper expressed how proud of the public school system he is and shared stories about his mother, who was an educator in eastern North Carolina.
Take a good look. This is what's left of a Skyland Neck officer's cruiser following a high-speed chase last night through Halifax County. Police say Raheem McDaniel went so far as to throw items onto the road in an attempt to get the officer tailing him to wreck. McDaniel eventually crashed, then tried to make a run for it. Now, as for the officer, his car caught fire, but he was still able to chase the suspect down on foot.
Warrants obtained by CBS North Carolina claim the man at the center of a manhunt and later a murder investigation stole a car from a Raleigh man at gunpoint. That man hasn't been seen for months. And to say the story is convoluted is an understatement. Ricky Ward first got the attention of investigators after he allegedly tried to rob someone in Goldsboro. Deputies tried to chase him, but Ward got away. The first of 2 times he would escape. Then the car he was driving was determined to belong to Justice Lyons, who was reported missing in mid-March. We checked earlier today, and an active missing persons case is still open for him. As for Ward, he was later arrested and charged with murdering a man in Dudley, a crime that happened while he was still on the run. And 8 months after Hurricane Matthew hit our state, many are still trying to get back to normal. But as our David Hurst found out today, a handful of homeowners in Fayetteville will finally be getting some much-needed help.
Those who live in the Hollywood Heights neighborhood
to put the beams in
still vividly remember the day Hurricane Matthew hit.
Water everywhere, couldn't get into the neighborhood. It was a very devastating day.
The flooding caused so much damage in the neighborhood, many people were forced out of their homes.
I walk out here and it was lonely. There was no one here.
Now the organization Rebuilding Together the Triangle is partnering with Lowe's to help get some of those families back into their homes. This is one of the 7 homes crews will be working on this week. They're out here trying to fix some of the damage that was caused by Hurricane Matthew.
I'm excited and so grateful. I feel we are really blessed out of all of these neighborhoods that it picked us.
And for some, it means one step closer to being able to move back home after a long 8 months.
It's just a blessing to have them all here to take their time to come out and help us. They don't even understand how much we appreciate that.
The renovations will continue into Wednesday and close that afternoon with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. In Fayetteville, David Hurst, CBS, North Carolina.
The deaths of 2 high school students who fell from a Myrtle Beach hotel have been ruled accidental. The 16 and 17-year-old girls died back in early April. Neither had drugs in their systems, and the circumstances of why the girls were at the hotel to begin with have never been released. State lawmakers are looking into pulling prisoners from roadside cleanup detail in favor of letting private contractors do the heavy lifting instead. Those who would support the idea say inmates might work for less than $1 a day, but because they have to work in groups, they get much less done than a private crew. If the measure is approved, 180 correctional officer positions could be eliminated.
Third Fort Creek Trail will be staying closed through August for construction. The city plans to replace 2 sections of asphalt with a boardwalk, the goal being to improve the creek's water quality and better protect the trail from flooding. Wake County needs your help to keep people safe from the heat this summer. The Cool for Wake program gives box fans to qualifying families who need relief from high temperatures. The county gives away about 400 fans each summer, and they need donations to keep up with the demand.
When you don't have any air conditioning at home, even one box fan makes a huge difference. And really what we're here to do and what our priority is safety, not comfort.
Well, if you would like help from the program but live outside of Wake County, contact your local Department of Social Services. For more information on donating a fan, head to WNCN.com.
And speaking of the heat, today's steamy weather sent families to the pool. This is video from Westover Pool in Fayetteville. As you can see, everybody had a good time, whether enjoying a cool swim, checking out the slide, or really just splashing around the splash pad. There we go. There was plenty of ways to cool off.
So, Dario, tell me, what is it like swimming today?
It's really fun and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's real good because some kids, they don't have nowhere to go in the summertime. And then for them to open up something like this, it's a real treat.
Too true. Westover's pool is open Tuesday through Sunday, 8:30 to 6. The cost ranges from $1 to $4, depending on your age and where you live.
And we needed that today. We'll need it the rest of this week. And let's be honest, we'll need it for the next 3 months, right? Temperatures right now, upper 80s to low 90s. Most of us went up a degree today compared to yesterday. We'll go up a little more tomorrow. But look at this. Boy, this sticks out like a sore thumb, right? Look at all the storms hitting the triad. They're not moving that fast, and in some cases, not at all. So not everyone is going to get these storms. Just a few of them will sneak into western parts of our viewing area. I'll take away the lightning and the current active warnings, and you can see they are slowly migrating to the southeast. So we'll keep an eye out in Person and Durham, Orange, as well as Chatham County over the next couple of hours for a few storms. Then we lose the daytime heating, and as you can see, later tonight, the rain chances go down. Temperatures kind of go down. I mean, we're talking mid to upper 80s in the next few hours, only to low 80s late tonight. And again, it gets hotter tomorrow. We'll talk about how hot and when those rain chances are going up in just a few minutes.
All right, Wes, thank you. The family of Ohio man freed from a North Korean jail says the young man is in a coma. The U.S. State Department announced Otto Warmbier was put on a plane today to be reunited with his family in Cincinnati. The University of Virginia California student was serving a 15-year prison term with hard labor after being accused of anti-state acts. No word on how Warmbier wound up in the coma, but Ohio senators, they are slamming the North Korean government, saying the country should be universally condemned. There's no reason to believe this is anything more than a coincidence, but Warmbier's release came on the same day that Dennis Rodman returned to North Korea. The retired NBA player says his visit is not political. He just wants to, quote, open a door.
I'm just here to come see some friends and have a good time.
Rodman is one of the few Americans to have met North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un. This marks his first visit to North Korea since President Trump took office.
Well, this is another case of you can't believe everything you read on the internet. Twitter has been on fire today with talk that the Golden State Warriors have decided against going to the White House to celebrate their championship win. Well, the Warriors, however, deny that any decision has been made or that they've even received an invitation. That being said, Coach Steve Kerr has been very public about his dislike President Trump, and Steph Curry doesn't seem to be a fan either. So it wouldn't be a surprise if the team did decide to skip the visit.
Coming up, the Texas deputy and her husband seen on camera restraining a man outside of a restaurant appear in court on charges of murder. Plus,
the grandma, she said, oh, thank you, save my baby life.
With not a second to spare, a North Carolina waitress comes to the rescue of a family in need.
This is where they came in through the ceiling.
Sacred Grounds, the target of a string of break-ins in Durham. What the organization does and a potential break in the case. Coming up all new right here on CBS North Carolina.
And as we head to break, here is a live look at the traffic along I-40 and Reedy Creek Road. It's moving smoothly out there. We're coming right back.
This program brought to you by Fiesel Roofing. Schedule your free 17-point inspection.
Get ready. Your summer crush is here.
This is Candy Crush.
We're building the biggest game show arena.
This is mind-blowing.
To play one of the most popular mobile games of all time.
Sweet. Match candies as fast as possible. You afraid of heights?
Have you been up here?
Swipe smart.
Mario Lopez hosts.
We are going to crush it.
Candy Crush. Premiere CBS July 9th.
See the King 79 Chevy. Experience extreme 33-degree banking. Race in our realistic racing simulators. Need we say more? Visit the NASCAR Hall of Fame this weekend. This is our sport. This is our house.
Oh, snap. Every truck guy has their own way of conveying powerful.
Yeah, boy. Kind of looks like a monster coming to eat you. Holy smokes.
That is awesome.
Strong. You got the basic and you got the beefy.
I just think it looks mean.
Incredible.
No way.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Get 17% below MSRP on all Silverado 1500 LT pickups in stock. That's over $8,100 on this Chevy Silverado. See your Central Carolina Chevy dealer.
Food, water, internet. We need it to live. But what we don't need are surprises, like extra monthly fees. I see you fee played by legendary actress Angelica Houston.
You got me, Mark.
We just want fast internet for one simple rate. For all the streaming and the shopping and the newsing, but most of all, for the this.
Internet for one everyday simple price and no extra monthly fees.
Oh, ow. Hey, Scout. What's with the itches and scratchies?
It's these fleas and ticks. Ow! I'm getting bit like crazy. Got any ideas for me?
Well, not all products work the same. That's why my owner gives me Canine Advantix 2. It kills fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes, too?
Yep, kills all three through contact. No biting required.
Wish my owner knew about Canine Advantix 2. Ow!
Well, could be worse. Huh.
Glorious.
Protect against the bites that can spread disease. Canine Advantix 2. Wise choice.
We always give our customers 100% when it comes to better pizza. And now we're showing our appreciation with 50% off.
Now at Papa John's, get 50% off any regular menu price pizza when you order online with promo code PAPA. That's right, 50% off.
Papa John's.
The King. The Intimidator. Awesome Bill. Are we talking about a superhero convention or the NASCAR Hall of Fame? Visit the NASCAR Hall of Fame this weekend. This is our sport. This is our house.
A Texas deputy and her husband appeared in court today, a week after they were indicted on a violent incident outside a Denny's restaurant. You can see Deputy Jonna Thompson's husband using a chokehold on a 24-year-old man while she pinned down the victim's arm. John Hernandez died 3 days later. Medical examiners ruled his death a homicide due to strangulation and chest compression. A family attorney says they have proof that the deputy knew the man was in danger.
A witness who was present at the scene and said to John Hernandez as he was dying, "Shut up. We are not letting you go. You already can't breathe, so stop making noises."
Today, Hernandez's family filed a lawsuit against the couple seeking more than $1 million in damages.
At least 300 people remain in serious condition tonight following a mass food poisoning incident in Iraq. The Iraqi government says the people who were displaced in the recent fighting against ISIS militants were sickened by tainted food provided by a charity group. In all, more than 750 people were reported ill. The embattled CEO of Uber is taking an indefinite leave of absence. The decision comes after a huge leadership shakeup after a former engineer exposed rampant sexual harassment within the ride-sharing company. Travis Kalanick told his employees he needs to take time off to grieve for his mother, who died in a boating accident last month. Kalanick also said he needs to become a better leader. Sears is struggling to cut $1.2 billion in costs by laying off about 400 full-time workers. Sears Holdings, which owns a department store in Kmart, says the cuts includes corporate-level employees.
Best Buy is taking a new shot at Amazon with a unique offer. The electronics and appliance dealer is trying to launch a try-before-you-buy option later this month. This will allow customers to rent open box or returned gadgets such as cameras and fitness trackers. Since Best Buy cannot resell those items at full price, potential buyers would then be allowed to buy them at a discounted price.
Take a look at this video over on the left side of your screen. This is out of Lexington, North Carolina. A woman began screaming that her child was choking when a waitress runs over, picks a 17-month-old up, and slaps him on the back. But the child began breathing normally a few minutes later. And caught on camera, yikes, a Southwest Florida man gets a shock of his life when his car refused to start. Well, frustrated, he gets out, opens up the hood, and that's when he found himself face to face. There it is, with a 3-foot-long python curled around the engine. Well, the man's wife got a kick out of watching her husband try to scare the snake out of his car. Ooh.
What was his expression? Was like, oh, and he jumped back, and he was like freaking out. He was running in the garage.
I would be freaking out too. Well, by the time wildlife agents showed up, the snake had slithered into the wheel well, so it took about 3 hours to get out. It turns out the snake had nothing to do with the car not starting. The car security system shut the vehicle down because someone left the car unlocked the night before.
That's a lucky snake.
How long was that snake actually there, I wonder, huh?
And what do you call it? Wildlife rescue? Why don't you call Samuel Jackson, right?
Oh, he does snakes on planes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
not cars. That's
yeah,
somebody else.
That's the sequel, maybe.
Okay.
Direct to DVD.
We can only hope, right? We can only hope. Hey, it was another hot and humid day. No surprise there, right? It's the middle of June. But here's what's popping up on the radar. Storms that have been hanging out in the Triad. They're trying to creep this way, but they're not being successful yet. So as we look into Roxboro, you guys look up to your northwest. You're probably seeing a lot of lightning off in the distance, some darker clouds in Orange County as you look west toward Greensboro. And as we continue down the line toward Charlotte, parts of the Triad, heavy rain, lots of lightning, and severe thunderstorm warnings here in yellow boxes because of the possibility of damaging wind and large hail. So that's something we might have to watch out for. But again, they're creeping off to the east, so they might make it into western parts of our viewing area toward Roxboro about 6:30, Hillsboro about 6:40, Siler City closer to 7, Durham 7:30. So slowly moving to the east. But remember, we're about to lose some daytime heating. So I think these storms will weaken some as they head in this direction. But most of us still staying dry the rest of this evening, dry and hot. Maybe those showers would do us some good to cool us off a bit. But as you can see right now, many of us here throughout central North Carolina in the mid to upper 80s, from 88 in Zebulon and Raleigh to same deal in Cary. A little bit hotter as usual down in the Sandhills, Fayetteville still at 91. You guys made it into the 90s for the 22nd time this year already. 3 times is how many times we've been there in the Triangle. 22 versus 3. It's an amazing what an hour and a half could do in our area. Isolated storms through the next couple of hours, mainly to the west. Should be dry by midnight and dry for your morning commute, but we start off again around 70 degrees. So a couple things working to promote some showers and storms the next few days. We've got the warm, muggy air coming in from the south, right? Then we've got this disturbance in the form of a stationary front up there to the north, and that's sending little waves of energy, and they're kind of combining the heat and humidity and those waves of energy to pop up some storms. And that little system, that stationary front, is going to get a little bit closer tomorrow, so a little better chance of rain. And it's also going to be a little hotter. I'm talking another degree or two. Our best chance of rain, though, comes Thursday into Friday, when that front will be at its closest to us. Unfortunately, it's never going to sweep through and cool us down and lower our humidity. Watch what happens as we get into the weekend. Whoop, there it goes back to the north. Just kidding. Not going to move through and cool you down. We will be a little bit drier this weekend, but highs will still stay close to 90 degrees, which is where we'll be tomorrow. I think we'll get there in the triangle tomorrow. 91 is what we're going to go. As we look in Durham, you can see a few storms popping up in the afternoon, and it's a typical summer type activity, meaning your morning will be dry, lunchtime will be dry, and then as we get into the late afternoon and early evening, that's when we'll pop in about a 20 to 30% chance of showers and storms. So that's what we've got tomorrow, 30% chance of storms. Then it's up to 50% Thursday and Friday, and then as that system moves away, it's back down to 30 and 40% this weekend and early next week. So our 3-degree guarantee high tomorrow here in Raleigh is 92. Today we made 89 after forecasting 90. That means we're within 3 degrees and another $100 from us and our friends at Allen Kelly Heating and Air for the Compass Center for Women and Families, as they help individuals and families in domestic violence. They serve more than 5,000 people a year, and it's not only, domestic abuse, physical, but it could be other things, getting started on your own with financial support, education, things like that, and that's what they're here for.
Excellent. Right, very good. Thank you, Wes.
A local coffee house that serves not for profit, but out of selflessness, has become the victim of a string of break-ins. How the thieves got around the security cameras, coming up.
3-degree guarantee. Brought to you by Allen Kelly Air Conditioning and Heating.
At AT&T, we believe in access, the opportunity for everyone to explore a digital world full of possibilities, connecting with family, friends, and the things that matter most. And because nothing keeps us more connected than the internet, we've created Access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month. No commitment, deposit, or installation fee. Visit att.com/access now to learn more.
Your vehicle search ends here. Hendrick Buick GMC Cary has North Carolina's largest selection of Buicks and GMCs, plus up to $15,000 off MSRP. Online at HendrickBuickGMC.com. That's the power of Hendrick.
We've added 16,000 square feet and doubled our inventory. And this week, it's all on sale. The Grand Expansion Sale at Roseville Furniture. Big savings on all top brands. And you save hundreds more because you pay no tax. Sofas, pay no tax. Recliners, pay no tax. Mattresses, pay no tax. Finance with no credit check. This week only, the Grand Expansion Sale at Roseville Furniture. North Main, Roseville.
Just like we practiced.
Okay, we can get started.
Thanks. That was fun.
Nicely done.
During the Start Your Own Legacy Spring event, lease the Infiniti Q50 2-liter turbo for $329 a month, plus spring bonus at your local Infiniti retailer.
Window World is headquartered right here in North Carolina and has become the largest window replacement company in the country by providing the highest quality products and service in the business at prices that just can't be beat. And these amazing deals from Window World will help beautify your home and help you save big on your energy bills. Right now, you can get 5 premium windows and a patio door installed for only $36.40 or just $87 a month with 0 down. And how about an entire house of siding for as low as $79.95? An incredible deal for Window World's rich, colorful siding. Or upgrade to their exclusive industry-leading form-fitted foam to maximize energy efficiency. Not only will your home look amazing, but you'll save big on your energy bills. Window World. We'll take care of the outside so you can enjoy life on the inside. Call 919-307-7045. That's 919-307-7045. 919-307-7045.
Arby's Pizza Slider is loaded with multiple pieces of pepperoni, packed beyond the edge of the crust. How is that possible? At Arby's, the crust is buns. Arby's, we have the pizza.
An extremely close call for a Willow Spring toddler who nearly drowned in an Apex pool over the weekend. Tonight, that boy's mother is crediting strangers and a young relative for saving her son's life.
Our Justin Quisenberry shares her message to all parents and shows us how the young hero is being honored.
Karen Molina snapped this photo of her kids, including 2.5-year-old Noe, buckled up in the back seat, heading to a pool. No idea their day would be unforgettable in all the wrong ways.
He didn't want to swim, so I took his floaties out, and then he just sit on the edge of the pool.
Molina then fixed a bottle for her daughter, looked up, and no longer saw Noe.
I feel like he was already dead.
Noe's 9-year-old cousin Zuli saw him in the 5-foot deep end and rushed to help.
He was laying down sideways, and before he even closed his eyes, I picked him up and took him out of the water.
I got him in my hands, and he was purple.
A man at the pool, Carlos Rodriguez, stepped in.
He put him on the floor, and he just said, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, he's gone."
But Rodriguez's wife, Melissa, gave Noe CPR, eventually releasing the water from his body.
I thank God all day of my life and Melissa.
You made my cousin come back alive, and I'm really happy.
Apex Police gave the Rodriguezes and Zuli Chiefs coins for their life-saving efforts.
And she's just a kid, and yeah, she's a big, big hero.
That's what her mom's like. She can't believe how she did it all by herself.
You were pretty brave to be doing all that.
Yeah.
After a night in a hospital room, doctors released Noe in good health. Now his mother has this warning for parents.
Don't take your eyes off them for not even for 1 second.
She says Noe's next trip to a pool will be for swim lessons. Justin Quisenberry, CBS North Carolina.
And good advice, Justin, thank you. Coming up next at 6, the body of a Wayne County teen found off the North Carolina coast after a rip current swept him away this weekend. We'll hear from those who knew him next at 6 right here on CBS North Carolina.
See the King 79 Chevy. Experience extreme 33-degree banking. Race in our realistic racing simulators. Need we say more? Visit the NASCAR Hall of Fame this weekend. This is our sport. This is our house.
I was dreaming of bigger things and want to leave my old life behind.
Freedom is never far away. Take one drive in the most awarded and best-selling SUV brand and discover that the world is your backyard. Hurry in for great deals now at the Jeep Drive and Discover event. Right now, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2017 Jeep Cherokee for $229 a month.
Hi, Hyundai, can you please hold? Hello? No, it's not a typo. Up to $6,750 total savings. That's why it's called the Better Than Ever sales event. Hold, please. Hi, I'm sorry, but there's nobody here right now. It's 2 a.m., and I don't even think I'm supposed to be answering them.
Hey, are those numbers real?
I gotta go.
Visit the Better Than Ever sales event for the biggest savings in Hyundai's 30-year history. Get up to $4,750 total savings on a new 2017 Elantra. That's 20% off MSRP. Hurry in today.
It's easy to see why Nissan is America's fastest growing auto brand. Introducing the new Midnight Edition with aggressive blacked-out alloy wheels, spoilers, outside mirrors, and more. Take on the mainstream in Nissan's Midnight Edition. 6 models, 4 colors. Get to Nissan for America's best sales event. For a limited time, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models.
In the U.S., diabetes is our fastest growing health problem. In fact, by 2025, 1 in 7 Americans will develop diabetes. Along with the health risks, did you know that diabetes can dangerously affect your feet? At the Foot and Ankle Associates of North Carolina, we're focused on giving you the highest quality of care. If you have ulcers or wounds on your feet that won't heal, you may be suffering from peripheral artery disease and could be at risk for a stroke, heart attack, or even amputation of your foot or leg. Don't take the risk. Go to footandankleassoc.com to learn more.
To match people with their perfect Ford,
have to get to know them. What they like. What they need. And what they want. That's how we find you the perfect match.
Making life easier. That's Ford. That's how you become America's best-selling brand. Right now, get $4,500 total savings on a new Escape, Fusion, Explorer, or Mustang.
Make a connection at your Carolina Ford dealer today.
The King, the Intimidator, Awesome Bill. Are we talking about a superhero convention or the NASCAR Hall of Fame? Visit the NASCAR Hall of Fame this weekend. This is our sport. This is our house.
North Carolina News at 6 starts now.
One teen dead, another critical after getting caught up in a rip current off the North Carolina coast. What we're learning about the boys tonight and what their principal is remembering about them.
Plus, a major project in the works for a busy Wake County intersection. The new details from a public meeting on the construction.
And nearly $1 million set for terrorism research at UNC Chapel Hill, yet to be handed over by the Trump administration. Why and what the money could be doing right now. Good evening. I'm Sharon Tazwell.
And I'm Sean Maroney. Thanks for joining us. We're learning more tonight about a teenager who drowned and another in critical condition after getting caught in a rip current along the coast over the weekend.
The two from Goldsboro were swimming near the Bogue Inlet Pier at Emerald Isle Saturday around 6 p.m. A surfer pulled one teen from the water. The body of 17-year-old Elijah Hinnant was found this morning.
CBS North Carolina's Amy Cutler is in Goldsboro, and she spoke with the boys' principal at Eastern Wayne High School. Amy, what are you learning about the two tonight?
Well, this principal, Lee Johnson, says she is devastated by this loss. She calls this community close and tight-knit, and she is just heartbroken about what has happened. This is a look at 17-year-old Elijah Hinnant. He was a JV football player. Authorities confirm his body was pulled from the waters off Emerald Isle this morning. They say a woman on her deck spotted Elijah's body floating about 1,500 meters offshore. Meantime, his friend, 16-year-old Tyrese Worsley, remains in the hospital in critical condition. The principal telling us the two were rising juniors at Eastern Wayne High School, that they'd gone to the beach with two other friends, and that Elijah and Tyrese were caught in a rip current. Tyrese was found and brought to the shore by a surfer. The principal, again, Lee Johnson, says she has visited both those families.
It's very sad. My heart is very heavy. We learned about this through social media Saturday night, and we didn't know for sure about our student until this morning when the news broke this morning.
The principal says that she has visited Tyrese's family in the hospital. Again, he remains in critical condition there. Now, it's a bittersweet night here at the high school. Graduation is now underway, so the principal describes it as a mix of sadness and celebration going on right now. We're going to continue to follow up on this, and we will have more tonight at 11 o'clock. Live in Goldsboro, I'm Amy Cutler, CBS North Carolina.
Very